He lived in Hawaii and Indonesia, traveled across the United States. He is one of the most powerful men in the world and the first black president of the White House. Hello everyone, welcome to Newscope Daily TV. You are listening to the story of Barack Obama. The story of Barack Hussein Obama begins on August 4, 1961, in Honolulu, in the state of Hawaii, in the United States. His mother, Ann Dunham, was born in Kansas. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was originally from Kenya. For several months, this student couple attracted a lot of attention on the small island of Maui where they met. The problem was that she was white and he was black. Indeed, this was another era. In the early 1960s, interracial couples, meaning a white person and a black person, were very rare in the United States, but the young lovers were confident and wanted to get married. Madeline, Ann's mother and therefore Barack Obama's grandmother, was strongly opposed to the idea, especially since rumors were circulating on the island Barack Obama Sr. person allegedly had another life in Kenya, where he already had 2 children. But Madeline had no choice. Ann was pregnant. The young couple married quickly and headed to Honolulu for the birth. Congratulations, it's a baby boy, and it was decided he would carry the same first name as his father, Barack. Everything seemed fairly peaceful for the small family, but soon an event disrupted their routine. Barack Obama Sr. Tati was accepted into the prestigious Harvard University in Massachusetts to study economics. And Harvard is not something you turn down. Little Barack was 2 years old when his parents separated before his father left. His father promised he would return, but he never did. In fact, Barack would later understand that his father had rebuilt his life in Kenya and had many other children. Young Barack would only see his father once more, briefly at the age of 10. That was all. Soon after Barack Sr.'s departure, Ann Dunham found love again with Lolo Soetoro, an Indonesian student in Hawaii who planned to return to his homeland. She followed him to Jakarta, Indonesia, in 1967. Little Barack Obama was only 6 years old and moved with his mother and stepfather to the other side of the world. 3 years later, in 1970, the family grew. Barack gained the younger sister, Maya. After several years in Indonesia, his mother wanted him to receive an American education, so she sent him back to Hawaii. Barack was 10 years old. He boarded a plane alone, back to square one. You may wonder, his mother stayed in Indonesia. His father had abandoned the family. Where could this child go? It was his maternal grandmother, Madeline, who agreed to take him in, support him, and finance his education. But she warned that she would raise him as if he had no African origins. Barack Obama thus grew up in a white family. He became convinced that he was a white kid with black skin. At school, he was nicknamed Barry Obama. During his childhood, Barack struggled to find his identity. Ethnic tensions were very strong in 1970s America. Obama grew up in a white family he loved, but one in which there existed a certain distrust toward the black community. At the same time, while attending a private school mainly frequented by a white elite, Barack noticed that his black classmates were not treated the same way as others. He began to question things. His mother intervened. Barack must not be cut off from his personal history. He had to grow up knowing his origins. And timing was perfect. In 1972, she received a scholarship to conduct university research in anthropology in Hawaii. For 3 years, Barack was reunited with his mother and sister. During this period, his mother spoke to him about his father, his family in Kenya, and African American culture. She introduced him to Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement.
My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
In 1975, his mother and sister returned to Jakarta, but Barack decided to stay with his grandparents to finish high school in Hawaii. At 18, Barack Obama wanted to discover the world and spread his wings. In 1979, he left Hawaii for California and enrolled at Occidental College in Los Angeles. He quickly stood out, naturally cool, handsome, photogenic. Barack Obama became the stylish guy on campus. He was a party-goer, curious, very open-minded. He played basketball, lived the student life, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It is said that cocaine circulated freely among his group of friends. At first, he continued to call himself Barry Obama, but gradually he wanted to abandon that nickname. He wanted to affirm his African American identity and commit politically to defending the cause of Black Americans. In 1981, Obama discovered his political talent and his oratory skills. Students still remember him, captivating, effective, convincing. After 2 years in California, he wanted a fresh start. He was admitted to Columbia University in New York to study political science and international relations. In New York, he lived in a run-down apartment near Harlem, the black ghetto of the city. The social inequalities of the East Coast struck him hard. He wanted to change things. On November 24, 1982, Barack Obama received a phone call from his mother announcing the death of his father in a car accident. Barack had to grieve and hold on to the few memories he had of him. After graduating from Columbia, his desire for action grew stronger. In 1984, he moved to Chicago, working as a community organizer in the city's black neighborhoods. He discovered poverty, unemployment, and the central role of churches. He met local pastors to find concrete solutions. It was during this time that he converted to Protestantism and met Reverend Jeremiah Wright, whose sermons were deeply political and focused on black liberation and global justice. After 3 years in Chicago, Obama was admitted to Harvard Law School in 1988. In 1990, he became the first black president of the Harvard Law Review at age 29. Media began to take notice. During a summer internship in Chicago, he met Michelle Robinson, his supervisor. They grew closer and began a discreet relationship. In October 1992, Barack and Michelle Obama married, with Reverend Wright officiating. Barack entered politics in Illinois and in 1995 became a state senator. Despite financial struggles and family tensions, he continued. In 2004, after a powerful speech at the Democratic National Convention titled The Audacity of Hope, Obama rose to national prominence. On November 4, 2008, Barack Obama was elected the 44th President of the United States, becoming the first black president in American history. On January 20, 2009, he was inaugurated before nearly 2 million people. His presidency was marked by Obamacare withdrawal from Iraq, Nobel Peace Prize, 2009, the killing of Osama bin Laden, 2011, re-election in 2012, same-sex marriage legalization, Paris Climate Agreement, improved relations with Cuba in January 2017. Obama left the White House. In 2020, he published his memoir, A Promised Land. That same year, he supported Joe Biden, who became the 46th President of the United States. Barack Obama gave a new face to the American dream, a man of mixed heritage, deeply rooted in his African-American identity, who rose to become one of the most powerful men in the world. This was the story of Barack Obama. Subscribe on News Scope Daily TV for more update. Thank you.